Okay, guys, starting off in child's pose. Drop your head, drop your hips onto your heels. Settle in. And start to breathe deeply. Find that the breath comes through your nose and it's a big sound in your ears. It makes a roaring sound. And just pay attention here to all the different characteristics of your breath as you begin to grow it and make it more complete. Allow your exhales to be more complete. Right, fill the lungs to the maximum potential. And clean your lungs out to the max, okay? Maybe even pausing at the bottom of your exhale where you feel like you can't go any further and squeeze out a little more air. At the very, very ultimate bottom of your exhale, notice your belly muscles really pressing and strengthening inward towards your spine. You'll feel your pelvic floor even getting engaged, so that whole abdominal cavity is strengthening inward. The rib cage does the same. And on the inhales, we have this maximum expansion outward. Start to become aware of your shoulder blades kind of dropping, kind of dripping off your back, your armpits getting wide open toward the floor. And start to activate your upper body here, pressing down into your fingertips as you reach out away from your hips, energizing your hands against the floor, maybe rocking your upper body side to side. And just start to, in kind of a free-form, natural way, wake up and energize your upper body. So our focus today is going to be some upper body opening. We're going to do some nice leg warming and strengthening and lengthening. So always remember to take the breaks that you need to take. Go at the pace that you need to go. And just know that everything I'm saying is just a suggestion. And sometimes I'll give way more options than you want to take. No problem. So from here, gripping down, strong hands, think of the tiger claw, okay? Long neck. We're going to point the elbows at the mat, but hover them off the mat and think of pulling your heart forward to hover over your arms. So a chaturanga, we can call this. And if the going low with the heart is too much, you can always bring your heart more up where your elbows or your hips are. So you decide how low, and then see if you could skim nice and low back to your child's pose. So let's do that a few more times. We're going to inhale, hover in a chaturanga, elbows in, friends. And exhale back to the child's. So find this few more breaths, just kind of flowing and moving here. Feel the movement in your back. Want to get your whole body involved. Hips, shoulders, back, front. Okay, and I want to add a movement here. So let's just add something in. On your inhale, coming forward into that, little chaturanga. Okay, with your exhale, push the floor away, rounding your back into a cat posture. Okay, you know cat posture from cat-cows. Tailbone down, top of your head down. Okay, inhale here, back to that chaturanga. And exhale back to your child's pose. So we just added something else to the flow, but let's keep it going. Inhaling for chaturanga. elbows in. Exhale, push the floor. Rounded cat back. Inhale to chaturanga. Exhale, child's. Keep flowing, keep breathing. Maybe your pace is different from mine, okay? Honor that. Let's do this maybe 1 or 2 more times. Notice how your upper body's feeling about this. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears as much as you can. Okay, and the next time you're back in your child's pose, go ahead and settle in there for a little while. And let's take a moment to enjoy this great warmth we've built in your upper body. So make tiger claw hands. Again, press down into your fingertips. Press, press, press into your fingertips. Breathe deeply into your armpits as you lift your elbows up off the ground. So great armpit stretch here. Feeling your upper body spreading open to the ground. From here, friends, walk your hands back up and in by your knees. Okay, and if you can stand it, tuck your toes here, okay? It might be uncomfortable. And if it's uncomfortable and it's too uncomfortable, you feel like it's wrong, if it feels bad, untuck your feet. There's really no problem either way. But I'd say do it as long as you can stand it and then just back out, okay? Okay, go ahead and get your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, and see if you could settle your shoulder blades down on your back. We got your upper body nice and warm. So this is a great chance to just get a great stretch, okay? Kind of hold and breathe right here. Keeping your longest neck and your big proud heart. So from here, start to energize your lower body. Put a tuck in your tailbone, like you wanted to point it at your toes, okay? Pull your belly button in. And lift that heart. So you're making your spine as neutral as possible. And once you've got that neutral spine, keep it and start to press down into your feet like you want to push the floor away. Breathe here. Let your legs get warm. Okay, you might hover your hips just 1 centimeter off of your heels. Okay, it's going to get your legs really warm really quickly. So let's take 3 more breaths here, long, slow ones. 2 more breaths. Okay, get the legs warm. Kick the floor down. Let's do 1 more big breath in here. Release your hips back to your heels. Release your hands back to the floor, okay? Tuck your toes if they aren't already tucked. And I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Come on up and back. Okay, walk your heels out. Your legs should be kind of warm. So find some nice heel pedaling, maybe, okay? And try this, because we spent a long time, maybe you spent a long time with your toes tucked. Try flipping your foot over, flip one of your feet over and roll the top of the foot out on the floor. Oh, okay, maybe you try one and maybe you try the other, and then maybe you decide you're okay with trying both. You can try to roll on the top of both feet. Roll over your toes. Okay, it's a great foot massage. And it really helps to warm and loosen up our legs from the bottom up. All right, in your down dog, maybe you experiment with that foot rolling. Maybe that you're also coming up on 1 fingertip hand of a time. So right fingertips, making like a spider out of your right hand. Then try the left. Make a spider out of the left hand. Maybe you decide to do both. All right, waking up all that tissue that rolls up through your armpits. Okay, and this is a while in down dog, I know. So we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna get a little warmer. So here we go, inhaling, move your heart forward to a plank. As you exhale, just come halfway down. Just pull your elbows into your ribs. You don't need to go super far. And maybe you put your knees down to make it more gentle. Inhale back up to your plank. And as you exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Okay, roll it up for your inhale. Press down into your feet. Okay, get ready to squat. On your exhale, drop your tailbone, lift that heart. Warming your legs here. Pull your knees toward each other and look up. Inhale to stand. And exhale, fold it. Hinging at your hips. Palms down. Let your head hang. Maybe bend your knees. All right, halfway up on your inhale. And with your exhale, really big hug here. You can squeeze your legs toward each other, towards you. And then coming down with your palms, inhale, step it back to your plank pose. Okay, remember that little chaturanga shape we did with knees down? Do that now. Exhale and hover your heart over your thumbs. You can make this more challenging by hovering your knees as well. And inhale, pull your heart forward. Find a cobra shape. You're dropping your tailbone and think of pulling your heart up. Okay, exhale here. Find your downward facing dog. Come on up and back. All right, friends, walk it out. We'll take a few breaths here. Notice how the backs of the legs are feeling. Okay, we're gonna get them a little bit warmer here, so let's go. Inhaling, right leg up and out behind. Exhale, send that right knee forward. See if you can hover the foot and drop it just between your hands. Go ahead and drop your back heel. Your left heel is now down on the floor. And we want to think of the left toes pointing forward at just about 45 degrees, okay? Square your hips off with the front of the mat. And let's use the left knee to press up to a warrior one. So you can get your hands up here, interlace your fingers, and we'll just be here for a little while. So lunges are really great for building leg strength and also leg flexibility. They're just the best thing for your legs overall. So we want to make sure that we have the belly button pulling in a little bit to the spine in your lunge. Okay, you have the low back protected. And then make sure you're pushing down into both your feet at the same time as you're trying to draw them together. So feet push down, feet draw together. And then you always have the option to drop a little bit lower into your warrior one, or to lift your hips out and take it a little more easy. So please use that to your advantage. Now I want to transition through some standing postures with you. So feel free to take the gentle variations or the more spicy ones. Okay, from here, open your arms wide into a warrior two. So we're just going to go through some great standing postures. I'm going to spin around to face you here. Okay, warrior two. In warrior two, your hips are now facing out to the left. And your left toes are still pointed forward-ish, but the orientation of your upper body has really changed. Okay, think about pressing down into your feet still. Okay, we're still doing that here. And slightly drawing them toward each other. Notice how that energizes your legs. Okay, maybe one more big breath here in warrior two. Remember, you can have your hips higher to make it easier or lower for it to be more challenging. Okay, here's where we're going next. Go ahead and bend your right elbow and drop it to your right knee. Reach the left arm up. Big breath here. Extended side angle posture, okay? You can keep it a little bit more gentle right here, the way I'm resting my right elbow on my right knee. However, if you feel like you want a bit more leg mobility here and you're working on opening up tension in your legs, keep the legs strong against the ground, but put your right fingertips on the ground next to your right foot. Some people like to do inside of the foot. Some people like to do outside of the foot. So breathe, experiment. Continue to reach up through that left hand. I like to kind of play around with the variation of reaching the left hand away from the left foot. Now let's take a few more breaths here, and I'm going to give you a few more options. So feel free to come out at any time that you need to. If you're feeling pretty good here and you like this big hip opener, leg strengthener, you can drop your right side of your chest very low on the inside of your right leg. From there, you can reach the right hand under your right leg, okay, so that you are touching your back. You can get the left hand behind to look for the right. So find this bind, maybe explore it, or maybe not, maybe another day, maybe another lifetime. But wherever you are, keep breathing. Think of opening up your chest to the ceiling. Finding some nice warmth in your hips and your legs. One more big breath right here. So whatever variation you took, go ahead and unwind it slowly. Okay, and inhaling here, send that left hand all the way back toward the back of your mat. Okay, grabbing that left foot, reaching that right hand overhead, and we'll take a few breaths here. In exalted warrior, I know the right leg is tired, so drop into the right hip. Reach out long through the right hand. One more big breath here. And exhale, all hands down inside that right foot. Okay. Whew. Let's come back to a 3-leg dog on the inhale. Inhale here, send that right leg up and out behind. And exhale here, drop that right foot back to a downward facing dog. Okay, let's take a little vinyasa and then we'll get to the other side. So feel free to skip the vinyasa and take a child's pose break and breathe deeply. Okay, or you can come along if you're looking to keep your heart rate high. Inhaling here, get the heart forward. Exhaling here, step to your hands for your plank. Sorry, for your fold. Roll it up to inhale. Okay, coming up to an Utkatasana squat. Exhale here, drop your hips, look up. Drop a little lower than you did last time. Inhale back up. And exhale, folding. All right, let the head go. Halfway up, inhale. Big fold, exhale. All right, palms are down here. Inhale back to your plank. Remember to use the knees if you're keeping it gentle. And exhale, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin, come down, elbows in. Inhale, cobra, heart forward, tailbone down. Exhale here, find your way up to downward facing dog. Maybe you bend your knees, okay, and come up to hands and knees first. Okay, maybe you pop up through a plank. It's really up to you guys, walk it out. Paddle out your heels, the legs are nice and warm now. So let's enjoy that stretch. Start to push through your hands, pull back through your feet. Take a few more breaths here, feeling your elbows pull inward and your neck lengthening. Okay, second side, here we go. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhale here, left knee forward. Okay, softly plant the foot between your hands and drop the back heel. So the right heel is coming down now. Okay, pushing into those feet, come up to your warrior one. So you can get your hands up overhead, maybe interlace your fingers a different way than you did last time, and start to plant the hands back. So start to push down into all the feet, pushing down. Really root through the outer edge of that right foot back there. So press down the outer edge. Think of lifting the arch. Okay, big, proud warrior posture. We'll take a few more breaths here, warriors. Remember, you can back out or you can dive in. You're always making that decision moment to moment. Okay, if you're looking to open up some nice heart, you can lean your heart up toward the ceiling. Press into the legs. Maybe one more big breath in here in warrior one. And then we'll transition to warrior two. So exhale, turn your hips, turn your head, open your arms out to the right. I'll spin around to face you. Okay, we'll spend a few breaths in warrior two now. So if you need a break, extend the left leg. Such a nice and easy way out, okay? But keep pushing down into your feet. Roll the shoulder blades down. In warrior, you want to make sure your toes are pointed just over the second and third toe. And those legs remain strong, okay? The warrior is never off the clock in this posture. Okay, as you're ready, coming down into an extended side angle. So we're bending the left elbow to left thigh, okay, just on the knee. And you reach the right arm up. Breathe here. See if you want to drop into that left hip, push into the feet. All right, so the more you push the ground, the more of a warmth and the more of a release you can get in the legs. So you can stay here. We'll take some more breaths. You can experiment with this really gentle posture comparatively, okay? Or we can come down to the fingertips of that left hand. And you can just play around with where you want them to be. Okay, I like this variation where the right arm reaches up and overhead as well. Nice opening in that right side. Okay, you can play around with this super funky option too, where you drop your left side really low and you reach your left arm under you and bring the right arm behind your back. And then you can squeeze that knee towards you and drop your hips. Nice breath. Remember to keep pushing the floor. We'll take one more big breath here. Now come out without exploding. Come out slowly, okay? Use your strong legs. Push the floor. Slide that right hand all the way down the right leg. Reach the left arm up. We'll take a few more breaths here. Exalted warrior. Push the floor down. Reach through your hand. But remember to keep a long neck. One more breath here. And warriors. And then exhale. Bring all the hands down inside that front foot, the left foot. Okay, coming up to a three-leg dog. On your inhale, left leg up, out behind you. Send it as high as you like. And exhale all the feet down. We'll take another vinyasa, friends, and then we'll get to some arm balancing. So feel free to skip the vinyasa, take a break. This is a nice time for a child's pose if you need one. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling halfway down, elbows into your ribs. Inhaling all the way up to a plank. And exhale, walk it or step it to your hands and fold it. Inhale, roll it up. Lift your heart. Exhale, sit it into a chair squat. So drop your hips as low as you like, maybe a little lower this time. Inhale to stand. Exhale and fold it. Palms are down. Halfway up, inhale. Big fold on your exhale. Palms are down. Inhale, step it back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Knees and elbows bend. Knees, chest, and chin. Hover. Inhale for a cobra. Lift. Exhale for a downward facing dog. Here we are. Okay, let's take 5 or 6 breaths in downward facing dog. We're going to move on soon to some arm balancing, but this is a great place for us to breathe and just play. So before we start to use our shoulders a little bit more, let's get them a teensy bit warmer. So try just dropping one of your elbows to the floor and then picking it up. And do your best to isolate that. Drop the other one and pick it up. And keep switching sides. Drop one, pick it up. Drop the other, Pick it up. Okay, and feel nice warmth in the shoulders. Nice warmth in the rib cage and the back. And then see if you could get both elbows down. And if at this point you're like, okay, I need to drop my knees, then go ahead and drop your knees, okay? You can still be here on your knees. But if you're feeling pretty good with your knees up off the ground, then you are in a dolphin posture, okay? You're diving through the water like a beautiful dolphin. And you can walk closer to your hands if you like to give your shoulders more weight to carry. You can walk further away from your hands by giving your shoulders less weight to carry, okay? So you can choose what your shoulders are doing here. But I just want to take 1 or 2 more breaths here with you in this very warming and strengthening posture. And then as you're ready, walk your feet back, okay? Come down to your knees and then up on your hands. And let's just do some hand stretches, okay? So we can make the most of our tiger claws. Flip your palm up, fingers back, and do some rolling around on the wrist joint. Spread your fingers wide while you do this. And let's flip them over, palm down, fingers pointing back. Roll side to side, front to back. Spread the fingers wide. Okay. Now hands down in front of you, back to normal. Spread the fingers wide and get your tiger grip going, your tiger claw, okay? If you just come so that your feet are behind your hands, okay? You step forward, your feet are behind your hands. You're gonna bend your knees and point your knees out to the side. Okay, so you're in this funky little squat. And I'll turn so that you can see me if you need to. So a lot of you already do crow on your own, but sometimes it's nice if you're just beginning to approach any kind of arm balancing posture and you're kind of interested, but maybe you're a little bit scared. It's nice to know that there are steps. You don't necessarily have to pop up into the full crow posture right away, okay? There are little incremental steps that you can take if you're just learning or if you just want to take it slow. So I'll walk you through some of those steps that have been really helpful for me. Okay, so under your shoulders, you can grip the mat with your hands. Think of really gripping it, okay? We don't want the hand to fall asleep and then you just flop over. And then you can shimmy your feet so they're right close together. Okay, I like to have my heels touching and the big toes are just right close to each other. And then you can kind of wing your knees out to the side like little wings, okay? And you can hook your knees so that your shins come close to your triceps. So your elbows are winging out under your knees are winging out over your elbows. And you can just play with this feeling. For some people, this is enough, and you can just get used to this. Okay, for some people, the feeling of lifting your hips and feeling your head drop down is scary. So if you're one of those folks, just try it a few times. Hips come up, head goes down. Hips come up, head goes down. And then maybe you practice that for months, okay? And then maybe one day you decide to rock your hips up, let your head come forward, and start to put a lot of weight on your triceps. Thinking of squeezing the triceps toward the shins and squeezing the shins toward the triceps. So you can keep your toes on the ground and just experiment with weight bearing, okay? So that's another step, another increment. The next increment is maybe you start to lift one toe up for just a second and rock back. Rock forward, bear weight, the other toe comes up, bring it back. And then you're just getting comfortable with that little rhythm, lifting and lifting, okay? Maybe eventually you're rocking all the toes up, okay? And I want to give you some more tools. So I want to just keep going on this spectrum. So continue to practice whatever crow you're practicing, and not just like once or twice. Practice it like maybe 10 times. And I'm just going to give you a few more options you could explore. So once you get comfortable with holding up in the air, your next task is to start straightening and then bending your elbows. Okay, I call them crow push-ups. Okay, so you can just start counting. Another option is just to hold your crow and see how long you can, how many counts you can make. Okay, another option is putting your hands over on the side of your mat. So the side of where you are. Okay, so on the other side of your left leg, and you can hook your left elbow to the outside, your right elbow on the outside of your left leg. So you can call this a side crow. So for side crow, you want to squish your feet and your knees together, hands under shoulders, just like regular crow. It's really a lot like regular crow, except your legs are pressing against each other and into that right elbow. And then you maybe lift one toe. Maybe you do that for months. You just lift a toe. Okay, and maybe one day you come up and you can hold. And then same thing there. You want to work on bending and straightening and holding. Side crow. Super cool. Let's try the other side crow. Okay. Get those hands underneath your shoulders. On the right, grip the mat. Okay, start to lean some weight into that left elbow on the outer edge of the right knee. Just make that connection. It's okay if you fall. We're close to the floor. Okay, falling is actually a great way to learn. Okay, maybe you come up, maybe you can just hold. Okay, it's okay if you want to keep a toe down too. Pull the elbows in toward each other. Think of squeezing your legs together. And then let's come down skillfully. From here, you can probably just sit back on your hips and shake your legs out. Shake your hands out. You might want a little hand stretch after that. Flip your palms over. Okay, so that was some fun crow experimentation. There's so much you can do with that fun posture, and I do hope that you'll experiment with at least some of the aspects of that spectrum. Okay, friends, from here, grab your legs and roll all the way down. Take goalpost arms. Let's do a little rocking, a little twisting here, just rolling your low back on the floor. Okay, we got the legs really warm today and stretchy. We got the upper body really warm. And so now is a really great time to use that warmth that we've built in the shoulders and the chest to spaciously breathe into that upper body. So let's twist a little bit here. Let's get the legs up in the air. Maybe some ankle circles are in order after all that work we did. Both directions. And then let's do figure eights. Okay, and I like to do this. Okay, reverse your figure eights. I like to do this until my shins and my calves start to get warm, when I start to feel them getting a little bit tired. Okay, and then go ahead and pause there, and then cross the right knee over the left. You can bend your knees in towards your chest here. So you can single cross at the knees or double cross at the ankle. And we'll just drop the legs to the left. Let them fall. Maybe scoot your hips to the right. Then we'll start to look out to the right and take some long, slow breaths here. Big inhales into your chest. Think of lifting it high. And you can make this twist really passive if you like, and just kind of begin to melt effortlessly toward the floor. Or if you're feeling like you want some extra opening in your upper body, across your lower back, in your legs, then you can activate the twist by actively pressing against the floor. Find your biggest, most complete breath. One more here. Okay, so before you uncross your legs, keep the right leg over the left. Let's do the other side. So let's drop the legs just like this to the right. Maybe move your hips a little bit to the left. Okay, so the right leg is crossed on top and we've dropped them to the right. Look to the left here. Big breath here. We'll take several. Long and slow. Big chest inhale. Strong belly exhale. One more here. Feeling tension, anything that remained in your body that you don't need, just draining out. This twist is just wringing everything out. Let's bring it back in. Go ahead and uncross your legs, untangle them, shake them out in the air again. Ankles, circles, figure eights. Okay, and we'll just cross them the opposite way. So let's cross the left over the right. Okay, bend the knees, maybe double cross, and allow them to fall to the right here. Move your hips to the left. Look to the left. Breathe. Allow extra space into your torso. The spaces between your ribs, your shoulder blades. One more breath here. Bring it through center. Okay, keep the legs crossed like they are, but just drop them to the other side. Look to the right. Breathe. So if you like, you can continue to activate this by actively pressing against the floor. Or you can keep it really soft. Just feel yourself melting. Either way is right, as long as it feels good. Maybe one more breath here. And bring it back through center. Untangle your legs one more time and straighten them out. Okay, hands by your hips. Find your resting posture. So here we are. We made it. Scoot your shoulder blades under your heart. Flop your palms up. And feel your body letting go. Any last effort, any last sense of doing. Feel the breath is effortless. If you notice your thoughts, just observe them and come back to noticing your breath. Notice this moment. And please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. Thanks so much for joining me. Taking good care of yourself.